Hey there guys, back again with another lesson about the fretboard. Okay, as you all remember, we've talked about it before, how to demystify the guitar fretboard. We offered some advice on how you go about doing it, and one of the most important ones was to learn the octave shapes of every note on the neck. Of course, the octave shape is the same for every note, so you don't have to learn a couple of them, it's only one and it's repeated throughout the neck. So, doesn't really matter where you put your hand. For example, this note here, 7th A string. The point is that from the moment I press here, I must be able to see all the E's around the fretboard. So if I play here, I immediately see that the next E, the next octave is here. Okay. And of course I can go to the higher frets from here and so on. What I want to tell you is this: you have to learn each of these shapes separately. Okay, let's say for example we start from here and we know the next shape is here. From this time forward, every time you notice a note on the 5th string, you must already know that the interval is here. Or every time you notice a note here, you must be able to say that the octave is right there. Okay, and this must become second nature to you. Why? Because over those things you will try and superimpose every knowledge you have of the guitar fretboard, of the theory, of everything. So for example, we have two E's. We must be able immediately to know in this area how to play an E major scale, and an E major pentatonic scale, an E major 7th chord, how to play E major triads, and what E major triads are contained in this shape. So as you can see, all the knowledge you have, you must be able to see it immediately on the fretboard. These things are your first guidelines. They are just like the constellations. Okay, in the sky, you already know who you are. So even someone who starts right away and doesn't know all these things, the first constant is the octave shapes up and down the neck. So for example, here, as we've said before, this diagonal line here, I must ask myself, does it contain any major chord? Of course. This is the bar chord, it contains. Doesn't contain any triads like the ones we've talked about before. It does. Okay. Doesn't contain a major scale shape. It does. Does it contain an E major pentatonic? Same deal. Okay, and you go using that direction. Okay, E major 7, E major arpeggio. As you can see, using that method and using each part separately, you can start noticing many things of the fretboard and noticing them really fast without even trying. Okay, so for example, if we stay in the E major, if we had this shape, we know the E is on the 12th fret of both low and high E, and also an E here. You will notice that a triagonal shape is produced. Okay, so the point is that every time you see the triagonal shape, you must see immediately the major pattern it contains, the major pentatonic, the E major scale, the triads, you know the deal. Same deal again and again. You superimpose all the stuff you know on the shape. Of course, after a while that you start superimposing them,
2 o'clock.
You must be able to know also where is the third, where is the fifth. Okay, these things we talked about before. So eventually, every time you see a part of the fretboard and you want to play something specific, you must look at it and be able to know not only the octaves, but then where is the third, where is the fifth, where is the flat and seventh and things like that. But the octaves is the best place to start. Okay, even if you are a complete beginner, try and learn this shape by heart. Okay, this for example is also a good place to begin learning about the gauge system, but you don't really have to. Many people think that knowing the gauge system, it's how can I say it, a bit confusing, but don't think like that. Don't think that you're learning the gauge system at all. You don't have to. You could play 3-note per string scales, and you never heard about this piece of information before. Okay, don't confuse what we've said here with the gauge system. Okay, all you need to know is learn the octave shapes around the neck and go from here. Take a part of this octave shape and say which scale I can play over this, which chord I can play over this, which arpeggio I can play it over this. Okay, and move on from there. So ultimately, when you see one note anywhere, the moment you see that it's on the B string, immediately you know many things about. Immediately you know in what shape you are when you play major scale. Immediately you can see that this is a part of a major chord or a part of an arpeggio. Okay, so you don't have to try and search for them. You will start see things immediately. That's the whole point anyways. So try and have this shape ingrained in your brain and go from there. Okay, this triagonal shape, this diagonal, name them any way you want. The point is, anytime you look at the fretboard, you must be able to see them. It's that simple. My advice is to try and draw them on a piece of paper. Drawing stuff on a piece of paper helps more than you can imagine. Okay, enough of that. Try those stuff at home and let me know how this goes. Thanks a lot. Have fun.